Good morning. Technically, it's about 4 minutes past midnight, and I've just pretty much walked in here with my luggage. I left where I was house sitting yesterday evening, if you want to be like that, at 8:30 p.m. Wasn't exactly sure where I was going to stay, so I drove into Fremantle eventually and started having a look around on Google Maps and Booking.com. Ended up ringing about half a dozen places, and there was no room at the inn. Starting to get a little bit despondent, and there were some options, but when you're ringing at around about 9 p.m. Wait a minute. Ghosts. No, I've left the sliding door open on the balcony, and then when I tilted the camera that way to have a look at the view, I realised you could see me in profile, and that ain't for looking at. Not right at the moment. It's just a temporary thing, it's just now. Yeah, so after about 20 minutes parked up in Essex Street, making phone calls left, right and centre, looking at Booking.com, looking at Google Maps, and realising, geez, that mining conference that's on at the Esplanade, it must be really sucking the life out of, well, no, putting life into accommodation in the Fremantle area and a bit wider. And who knows what else. I mean, Fringe is on. It's the last week of Fringe. And that's where I was supposed to be tonight at last night at 6:30 at the Rubik's Bar in Murray Street in Perth. But I never got there. The tickets that I bought, 20 of them, I honestly don't know how many of those 20 turned up. I'm going to say it'd be a lot less than 20. I don't know exactly. I know some of them turned up because my name was mentioned in dispatches on stage, and there was audience participation by some of the people that I bought tickets for. I'll get more of a report on that later, but not now. And, you might think, geez, Bill, looks pretty swish, you're going all out. It's not that expensive, really. Not really. I've paid a lot more for a lot less, put it that way. This is a new hotel, and I saw it come up at a reasonable price, so I thought, yep, let's do that. And because it's Booking.com and they've got all my details, I just went click, click, clickety, click. Had a quick look at the map, but I hadn't really judged how far it was. It's 25 minutes maybe to drive from Fremantle, but it felt a lot longer. But as I drove out here, it's out west, I drove through some really interesting parts of town. Places that I must have gone past on the bus or in an Uber or at some stage. But I just passed lots of shops and pubs and cafes and just interesting places that I thought, geez, if I had the time, but who would have the time? How much time can you get in a lifetime to go exploring in your own city? So anyway, I got here and then the real fun started. Half an hour sitting there while they mucked around on the computer, because apparently the booking system for this new hotel is in Brisbane, which is 2 hours ahead. So when I was doing all of this at about 10 o'clock, that's midnight in Brisbane. So they're on the phone, two of them trying to get me in. But I don't know, if it was a mum and dad hoey moey, or, the Kickatinalong pub, they'd just say, oh, mate, there's your key, there's a towel, there's some coffee in your room, off you shoot, we'll sort it out in the morning. But you don't do that in places like this. So I sat there for half an hour and I was nearly falling off the chair with exhaustion. And it only went downhill from there. So anyway, what, me? Worry? Nah. I wasn't happy. And then there was a couple of embuggerances with the bloke not exactly knowing where the room was. He said, I'll show you to your room. I thought, mate, just give me directions. I'm glad he did come with me because I would have had to leave a trail of breadcrumbs to find my way back. And as it was, we got down to the end of the hallway, and let's just say I'm in room 36. Well, we got down to the end of the hallway, and he said, it's just at the end here, and we got to the end, and it was 33. Ooh! So we went backwards, and around the corner, and through a door, and through another door, and opened the secret passageway, said the magic word, Nymphomania! And I ended up at room 36. On the way, he said something along the lines of, oh, look, I can understand your frustration and that you're frustrated with us. And I went, mate, I'm just walking beside you saying nothing. Oh, yeah, but blah, 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 blah. And then I quietly, but almost volcanically, ready to eruptly, said, I'm saying nothing. I'm walking next to you in silence. If you are going to start putting things into my mouth and telling me how I feel, then I'll get angry and frustrated. He backed off a million miles an hour. All you could hear was backpedaling. And then it just kept getting worse. I went downstairs to the car, to the ute, and there was two options, park on the street or pay $25 a night. And he said, oh, look, you can park downstairs, but there's limited parking, but just let us know if you do. Somehow that became me trying to cram myself into the smallest car park, and his colleague come running down saying, no, you can't park here, you can't park here. It's like, can you get your heads together and come up with a single story? And then he wanted me to park in a disabled spot, and that's when the fireworks nearly did go off. No, I will not park there. Well, it doesn't matter, there's no one there. So there's a dirty great big sticker with a disabled sign on it. I'm not parking there. But there's no disrespect. I am not going to park in a disabled... And then I told him a couple of things about why I would not park in a disabled spot. And he backed off. And again, there's a lot of backpedaling going on this evening. All right, I've got to wrap this up because I've done about 2 or 3 of these this evening and they've gone on for so long. So today, Tuesday the 14th of February, full of embuggerances from the time I got up at 4 in the morning. Well, really half time in the football, around about 5 a.m, when I tried to have a shower, and for the second morning in a row, I got 10 minutes of cold water. It's very invigorating. It wakes you up. But when it's that cold outside and you got 10 minutes of cold water, yeah, anyway. And the snowball just kept on rolling. So anyway, here I am. I didn't get to Rubik's Bar. I didn't get to see Nikki Wilkinson Fancy Pants, but there's another 5 nights. I'm of a mind to spend the next 2 days doing not a lot because I've worked out the angle between where my head would be on those pillows and that rather large flat screen television is quite okay. So that's an option. I have devices. I have water and aloe vera. And a bottle of wine. Thank you very much. Fifth leg. Who was it I used to drink fifth leg with? I went around the bottle shop today saying, oh, I'm going to get my wine by women. It's Valentine's Day. And Dan looked at me and said, what? What are you doing? I said, fifth leg, that's Megan. If you've got a Colonel Warra, that's Janet. And then if you've got Broken Wood Cricket Pitch, that's Marcia. It looked at me as like I was some sort of Casanova or whatever. I'm just a man who loves the women. Anyway, I think, oh goodness me, I've got a fair idea who or what that is. All right, I better go and see what that's all about. And I've got a fair idea what it's all about. And that might be, I've just touched down. Oh my God, got caught up in Singapore with some security scare. How's my kitty cat? Your kitty cat's been in my bedroom with a bowl of food, a bowl of water, and a kitty litter tray. And she don't like that because she's a roamer. She let me know in no uncertain terms, let me the fuck out of your room. Or the room. The spare room. This is where I come to shed hairs on your clothes, dickhead. Don't you be boxing me up in here. Fun and games. All right, I don't know where this is going. I don't know who's watching, but if you stuck it out this far, well done for you. Surely you've got other good things to be doing. And as always, the magic word is nymphomania. It's Bill Quinn from somewhere in Perth. I'm not entirely sure where. Saying I'll see you when I'm looking at you, possibly at Fringe in the next few days. Bye for now. Soft edges. No great big wooden frames. Yay! My legs will not get ripped to shreds like they have been recently. Goodbye.